Welcome! In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn Google Shopping into a revenue powerhouse for your e-commerce store. Now, this video is for you if you already own an online store. I'm going to have future videos that talk about things like FBA and maybe an Etsy setup, but to get value from this particular video, you should already have or be considering setting up your own online store. On that store, you should be selling physical products, and those products should have at least a 3x markup with a sales price that's at or near the Google Shopping average. Later on, I'll show you how to figure out what the Google Shopping average is for your product line, but I did want to take a moment to talk about margins. Now, this isn't a hard and fast rule, but it is kind of a rule of thumb. If you're in a position where you have a really high customer lifetime value, for example, maybe you have a very fleshed out upsell tree, or you're in a space where customers aren't likely to compare prices. Maybe you have a novel product like a cosmetic of some sort or a physical info product. You can kind of get away with a lower margin. But if you're in a space where people are actively comparing prices, you want to make sure that you have at least a 3x markup, ideally more. And the final thing is people should be searching for your product. There's a lot of other ways that you can promote novel items on AdWords, but this particular video is specifically about Google Shopping, and Google Shopping does best when people already know that your product exists and that it solves whatever their whatever their problem or desire is. Now, with that out of the way, let me tell you a little bit about me and why I might be worth listening to. My name's Brandon Dillon, and I'm the marketing director of ResponseFlood.com. We're a boutique AdWords agency, and I've personally been in the digital marketing space since about 2009. Since then, I've wore all types of hats. I spent several years as an affiliate marketer. I was also a sales copywriter for quite a while. But since 2013, AdWords is all that I've done and all I've focused on. Today, we're managing a little bit more than 7 figures in ad spend and only growing. During this video, we're going to cover what Google Shopping is and how it works, the fast and easy way of doing market intelligence and why it matters, how to drive Google Shopping revenue, which is probably the most important part, and we're going to wrap it by giving you specific action steps that you can take. So you're going to be able to walk away from this video with exact steps that you can then use to create an asset for your own e-commerce store. Okay, so let's get into this. Now, Google Shopping is one particular traffic stream that you're able to tap through the AdWords platform. Generally, when people think of AdWords, they think of AdWords search, which are those text ads that show up on the top or the bottom of the page when you run a search query. They also offer Google Shopping ads, and these are different from regular search ads in a few different ways. First and foremost, they are not targeted by keywords. The keywords are actually automatically generated by AdWords. We'll show you how that works a little bit later in the video. In addition to showing up on the regular Google search page, your ad can also show up on YouTube. It can show up on Google Images and several other parts of the Google ecosystem. So you have a pretty wide reach with the Google Shopping ad. The ad itself includes images alongside the ad text, and you have the potential of double serving these ads. So what I mean by that is if somebody were to type in dog food as an example, you can have a Google Shopping ad running on that page alongside a regular traditional Google search ad. So it basically improves your chances of getting the business from a potential prospect. One thing that you'll find when you're running Google Shopping ads for your e-commerce store, they are by far the most effective ad type when it comes to Google AdWords. There's just an incredible amount of intent from those people that do click on these ads. They come to your site and they already have a credit card in hand. So if your pricing is right and your offer is dialed in and your copy or your content is where it needs to be, people are going to buy. And more than likely, they're not going to stop at one product. If you have upsells or if you have cross-sells or anything else in place, these are buyers and they are interested in spending money, which is great about this traffic stream. The final thing I wanted to touch on is you only play when somebody clicks on your ad. So Unlike display, where you're paying for the impression, with Google Shopping and AdWords in general, you only pay when somebody shows some tidbit of interest in whatever it is you're promoting. With shopping ads, because you have the price and your image there alongside the ad copy, people that do click have a really, really high intent. They're showing a lot of interest. And you're only paying for those that have interest in whatever you're promoting. Now, let's dive into market intelligence, and I'm going to make this as fast and easy as possible. This is actually the step that most AdWords shopping advertisers skip, and it ends up being a massive mistake. When I or you, after you watch this video, go into a marketplace where they're not doing market intelligence, you can absolutely clobber the competition. And doing competitive intelligence or market research for Google Shopping can be extremely fast and easy if you know the steps to take. Let's assume that I'm in the dog food marketplace and my business is Chewy.com. I more than likely will know who my top competitors are. I don't actually know who they are, but let's assume they're the top 2 players that are buying ads on this page. So Purina.com and Nature'sRecipe.com. I've already copied and pasted these onto a notepad right here. Now, we're not going to be using this actual page here to do our research. We're going to be clicking into another page. But one thing I did want to mention, when we're doing this research, it's usually easiest to use the biggest keyword in your vertical. So my guess is there's more specific keywords that work for this marketplace. Maybe, I don't know, organic dog food for Doberman Pinschers or something like that. We're looking for the broadest yet still relevant keyword for your particular product. And that's where we're going to start. I'm pretending that for this marketplace, it's going to be dog food. Once we've typed that into Google, we want to click into this shopping tab right here. And this is going to bring up way more ads. Now, as I mentioned, there's 2 different buckets that I like to think about. There's going to be general competitors, which are everybody that's marketing a similar product to yours. And there's going to be specific competitors, which are going to be, or the top competitors, which are going to be the people you know are doing the best in your marketplace. We want to look at these 2 different groups of competitors in separate steps. And the way that we look at that is through the query itself. So dog food alone is going to show you all of the general competitors. And if I wanted to look at one particular top competitor, I would add their website to the query. So dogfoodpurina.com is going to bring back all of the ads that Purina is running that are related to that particular keyword. And let's hop back to the general search here. And what we're going to be looking for or looking at is a few different things. First, we want to look at the imagery. So with shopping ads, the image is extremely important. There's a lot of rules and regulations around the images you can use on Google Shopping. I'll provide a link underneath this video to the help article on the video, on the image guidelines. But what you really want to do is make sure that your image is provocative as possible, that you're using high quality images, and that you're not sinking in with the rest or doing as best as a job as you can of standing out from the other competitors that you're going to be going against. After you're looking at your imagery, the next things you want to look at is going to be your title, which is this long hunk of content here, and your description, which is going to be the longer hunk of content here. You can actually expand any of these ads by clicking on it, and you can see more of what their description is right here. Now, your titles and your description are important because this is how Google Shopping figures out what keywords your ads should be running against. As I mentioned, unlike Google Search, you're not actively going into your account and choosing keywords to target. They do this automatically. And the way that they figure out what your ad is relevant for is primarily by looking at the title and the description of each product in your product feed. And when you're looking at your competitors, you can start finding out first and foremost what keywords are probably the most effective for them. And second, where there might be gaps in their content approach to titles and description that you might be able to do better. So as you can see right here, they have dog food in the middle of their ad, and that's probably a big reason why their ad is showing for this particular search term. Same thing for right here. So grain-free dry dog food, stream dry dog food, and so forth. And if you went through these, I'm sure you would find that the description and the title are highly relevant and related to this seed keyword. From there, we also want to look at the average prices. And you can just kind of scroll up and down the page to get a rough feel for it. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is going to be important when it comes to pricing your own products if you plan on using shopping as a traffic source. Pricing becomes a lot less important if you have a higher customer lifetime value than your competitors, and or if you're in a space where pricing is all over the board, say cosmetics or something similar. But if you're selling something that's very similar and you're in a position where people often compare prices, you want to make sure that your price is at least at or near the average price that you're going to find in this shopping page. Now, let's dive into the next part of this, which is how to drive the shopping revenue. And this is how to actually set up your Google Shopping campaigns. As I mentioned, your title and your description is how you're going to do your targeting. We're going to create this and set these titles and descriptions using a product feed. And this product feed has to be uploaded to Merchant Center, Google Merchant Center. Once it's uploaded to Google Merchant Center, you can integrate Merchant Center with AdWords, and then you're all set, assuming that your products are approved by the team, the approval team at Merchant Center. There's a few different ways that you can approach getting your feed uploaded into Merchant Center. You can do this manually, or depending on your platform that you're using, you can have this done automatically using an app. As an example, I personally use Shopify in my businesses. With Shopify, you can add the Google Shopping app, and all of your products will automatically be ported over to Merchant Center, and you don't have to worry about either exporting and importing a product feed or creating it by hand. There are steps that you can take if you want to do it manually, and again, I'll be including a link to that underneath this video that you can follow up with if you want to take that approach. Outside of the title and the description, we want to pay special attention to our imagery and pricing. As I mentioned, these are the most important things both for volume and for click-through rate. So if it's at all possible, you want to match the average pricing of other competitors, and you want to make sure that your imagery is as provocative as possible. Finally, you want to make sure that your product feed is as detailed as possible. AdWords loves a detailed product feed, and they will reward you for having a product feed that is fleshed out as well as possible, or as much as possible, I should say. Let's kind of cover what you need to do from here to kind of use this information that we covered. First and foremost, you're going to want to sign up for Merchant Center and AdWords. You're going to want to upload your product feed to Merchant Center. You're going to want to link your Merchant Center and your AdWords account. And you want to create your first shopping campaign in AdWords. Once you do that, you're off to the races. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. I didn't go into any of the more advanced aspects of Google Shopping, but this should be enough to get you going and some revenue flowing. If you like this type of content, I suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be releasing a lot of videos in the near future that's going to cover all aspects of AdWords. Everything from AdWords search to remarketing to display network to Gmail promotions. You name it, we're going to be covering it. And this is going to include both beginner and advanced tips. And one final and shameless plug, if you'd be interested in having your AdWords strategy built out by an expert team, I'd like to invite you for a complimentary strategy session. There's no obligation involved with this, and you will walk away with concrete and actionable steps that you can take with or without the help of my team. If you're wondering why I would do something like that for free, the answer is pretty straightforward. I know that a select portion of those that I chat with will want my team to handle the implementation as well. But even if you are the do-it-yourself type, I guarantee you're going to get a lot out of this. So if you'd be interested in something like that, I'm going to include a link to the website form somewhere in this video down below. Or you can just visit the website responseflood.com and look for the link to the free strategy session. With that said, I will see you in the next video.